He stole every game I owned, laughed in my face for being a Queen fan. So I sent a letter that made his ultra-religious parents think he was gay. What followed? A meltdown so dramatic, I can still hear his mom screaming 30 years later. If you've ever had someone take advantage of your kindness, mock your passions, and think they can get away with it, then this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and prepare yourself for one of the most twisted, poetic revenges you'll ever hear. It was the early 90s, a time before the internet made everything easy. If you were a teenager into PC games, it meant hunting for floppy disks, mailing out for titles from across the ocean, and praying your copy of Monkey Island didn't come with a corrupted disc 4. Back then, me and my best friend lived for those games. Doom 2, The Settlers, SimCity, Alone in the Dark. Each one felt like treasure. We'd swap games, make careful backups, even share copy protection codes scribbled on worn-out paper slips. It wasn't just about fun. It was survival in a world where software was rare and expensive. Then came Danny, let's call him that, the new kid in class. He was smug, cocky, but most importantly, he claimed his uncle had a massive stash of games. To two desperate teens like us, that was like dangling meat in front of wolves. We offered to trade. We gave him our pristine, original copies of classics. In return, he handed us back half-broken, corrupted discs, and incomplete games. Some came back without the copy protection sheets. Others just didn't work. At first, we gave him the benefit of the doubt, but weeks turned into months, and it was clear Danny had no intention of trading fairly. He was bleeding us dry while padding his own collection with our best titles. Every single game we gave him, gone. He'd wave the boxes around at school, bragging about them. The final straw? When he returned my Doom 2 floppy with a cracked case, greasy fingerprints all over it, and a smirk like he was doing me a favor. That smirk lit a fire in my chest. You know that feeling? The hollow mix of betrayal and helpless rage, when you realize someone you trusted saw you as a fool. We wanted revenge, but we were just kids, until fate handed us the perfect opportunity. You see, in addition to being a thief, Danny was also a loudmouth bigot. He loved mocking me for being a huge Queen fan. Back then, Freddie Mercury had just passed away, and Queen was everywhere. But Danny, he'd call Freddie slurs. Say I must be gay too for liking that kind of music. He'd say it in front of others, like it was some hilarious joke. What made it worse, his family was deeply conservative. His mom was a devout Catholic, always wearing a cross, talking about sin and purity. His dad, a gruff, intimidating man who looked like he hadn't smiled in decades. Danny would boast about how his house was clean, how no one in his family would ever tolerate someone being gay. It was gross, but it gave us the angle we needed, because a few weeks later, our school was invited to an AIDS awareness event. The event was held by a major AIDS foundation. We sat through panels on HIV, safe sex, and LGBTQ+ acceptance. At the end, they handed out flyers and little care packages. Inside, educational pamphlets and free condoms. That's when the light bulb flicked on. Me and my friend, two of the few kids at school with inkjet printers, decided to get creative. We were going to give Danny a taste of poetic justice, and we were going to hit him where it hurt. We spent an entire Saturday crafting the perfect trap. We designed a letter, formatting like official correspondence from the AIDS Foundation, complete with logo, letterhead, and language that sounded professional and deeply personal. Dear Danny, thank you for your heartfelt letter. We understand how hard it can be to open up about your sexuality. Please find and enclose a flyer which should answer many of your questions, as well as some condoms. Please practice safe sex at all times. We signed it with love and respect from the Foundation's Youth Outreach Program. Then we stuffed it in a plain envelope along with every single flyer and condom we grabbed at the event. But the real killer move? We addressed it not to Danny, but to Mr. his last name, so his father would open it first. We mailed it on a Monday. By Wednesday, the fallout hit like a nuclear bomb. Apparently, his mother screamed, like wailing through the house, kind of screaming. His father, furious, Danny was dragged into a storm of accusations, sobbing explanations, and locked doors. They absolutely believed he was gay, grounded, isolated, forbidden from using the phone. He didn't show up to school for a few days. When he did, his face was pale, eyes sunken. We casually asked if he was okay. He said nothing, but we knew. Eventually, Danny began to suspect something. We had dropped little hints, probed him like detectives. And finally, one afternoon behind the gym, he snapped. "It was you, wasn't it? You sent that damn letter." We smirked, and we told him the truth, that we forged it, that we created it, out of recycled condoms and karma. His face twisted, shock, rage, embarrassment. He looked like he wanted to cry, or punch us, or both. The next day, we were called to the principal's office. Both of us. His parents were there too. You should have seen the look on his mother's face. A cross around her neck, clutching tissues like rosary beads. His father stared at us like we were demons. We explained everything. Calmly, truthfully. The betrayal, the lies, the stolen games, the humiliation. We got detention. A stern lecture. But it was so worth it. That revenge might have been immature, even cruel. But in that moment, it felt like justice. For the games he stole. For the mocking words. For the smirk that said he'd gotten away with it. 30 years later, I still remember the silence that followed after I said, "We made the letter." I've never seen someone's soul leave their body in real time. If that story hit you right in the karma, smash that like button and drop a comment telling us the most cold-blooded revenge you've ever seen or dreamed of. And hey, if you want more stories that hit this hard, don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty more where this came from.